Okay, start. Okay. Well, this is the Laughing Buddha, John Woo 777, coming to you from the spirit world, of course, right? You can see me. That's why you can only see my interviewee, but not interviewer. You never see me in my interview series, okay? I can guarantee you that. You know, there's a law I have to follow the golden law because for a reason, also for mystery. You know, people like mystery, right? I'll show my face one day, my second coming,
okay,
or third, whatever. Okay, now. Because we come many times, the Buddha, you know. My friend Jesus come 2 times, but I come 100 times. Now, anyway, this is Mr. Howard Paul Shore, S-H-O-R-E, right?
Correct.
And then you have been interviewed by one of my assistant, whose name was Laura.
LaMonaco.
Well, you know better because I'm Chinese. I don't know how to say those names. Yeah. But anyway, the thing is that she was did a very good job, and we edited that. It will be on YouTube, but soon. But this one will be the part 2. That was part 1. This is like an update to that.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
And it will be asking some similar questions, and then others that we haven't asked before.
Correct.
So the first thing we want to ask you, since we don't want to waste time. Is how did you acquire or get these loans in the first place?
I had a real estate agent named Laura Francis from Hopper Realty out in Azusa, California, and I was referred to her through an old friend of mine who doesn't live in the United States anymore, went back to Mexico. Anyway, so I asked her to help me find some properties to invest in, and she did. And she also told me to take her advice in terms of what kind of loans or mortgages I should get, so I took her advice. And I ended up with these terrible loans that, you know, went really bad, and they turned out to be fraudulent loans.
And when or how did you find out the loans were fraudulent?
I found out that they were fraudulent. It was because every month when I was making the payment, I noticed that the balance that I owed, the principal balance, was going up and up and up. Every month it would get higher and higher. And typically when you have a mortgage, 20 years, 30 years, whatever, you know, it's supposed to go lower every month because you're paying it off. This was doing the opposite. So I said to myself, this is fraud.
Okay. And what did you do as soon as you found out that the loan could be fraud?
When I found out, of course, I freaked out like everybody else, and I contacted my bank, and I was informed I should apply for a loan modification. So at the time, it was still Washington Mutual Bank, and I did apply, and then the bank kept telling me that they never received the paperwork and all kinds of excuses. So I sued them in small claims court for lying to me about that, and it was settled out of court, and they gave me about $3,000. Amazingly, but that didn't solve the problem, and then I still tried to get modified, and they eventually denied me, and then I eventually.
Now, was that Washington Mutual you were suing or Chase?
I think at the time it was Washington Mutual. I can't really remember at the time because I remember overnight it changed from one bank to another bank. You know,
during the transition period you were involved in this case, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
A horrible time.
And so, what caused you to file the court case?
Well, before I filed the court case, after getting denied for these modifications, I went through the law office of Todd Becker out of Long Beach, California, who Laura Francis also referred me to because she said that they were very good at helping people get loan modifications as well as bankruptcies. So I hired them for $3,000, and they tried to get me modified supposedly many times and kept getting denied with different excuses. And after, you know, not getting anywhere with them, I asked Todd Becker, the head attorney, if he would take on the case and file a lawsuit against the bank, against Chase Bank. And he said no, because he didn't feel that my case was strong enough or that I would win, and maybe I should have taken his advice. So I ended up going to another attorney, and he referred me to another one out of Santa Monica, California, named Martin Gross, who's a consumer attorney, and through him, we filed a lawsuit because he felt that I have a good case, and he charged me $7,500 per property, so it totaled $15,000 plus other fees to file this lawsuit. So we went to court against the bank, and it was a mess.
Okay, so that was the reason you filed the legal complaint, right? Okay.
For fraud, yeah. We sued them for fraud, and I end up losing the cases.
Oh, okay.
Because what the bank did was they had their attorneys, and they fought back with my attorney and kept on getting my attorney to file demurs, which are basically answers or to keep modifying our complaint. it didn't make any sense. And basically, you know, my attorney kept on cutting things out because the judge wasn't accepting our complaint, and eventually we lost. It was a mess. And Chase Bank also blackmailed me. On paper, they said to me that during the court process, they said if I was willing to dismiss the case with prejudice, then they would consider me for a modification. They didn't guarantee or promise me one. And because they didn't guarantee me anything, I refused to dismiss the case with prejudice, and I continued on with my lawsuit until I lost the case.
Okay. And now, so we know what happened to your case. But what do you plan to do from now on?
Well, after I lost the case, I talked to my attorney, Martin Gross, who took on that case. And he said to me, there's not much more that I could do for you, except you should just wait till the properties appreciate enough, and hopefully you'll be able to sell them and make your money back, or at least break even. And that's what I've been waiting for. But in the meantime, I am doing this process of sending out 20,000 emails to a bunch of different government agencies, such as the Department of the Treasury, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, various agencies, and I'm going hardcore, and I'm going to report the bank for fraud. And that's what I'm doing, and I've already reported them to 2 agencies so far.
Okay, that's great, but what do you expect the outcome would be for something like that you're trying?
Well, the outcome would be that I'm hoping that by contacting all these agencies that have 20,000 emails, maybe there'll be, 5 or 10 people out of this huge crowd that can, deal with the bank on my behalf and get them to want to either modify me or give me a principal reduction or do something for me, because without getting the help from the right people, you're basically helpless. And, if you don't ask for help, you will never get the help. You're going to go through a lot of no's in life until you get to a yes. And that's what I'm faced against. And I've got 20,000 emails to send out, and I believe that I will hit the right person.
Okay, now I see you have President Obama next to you. You must be a Democrat, I guess.
Actually, I'm not Democrat, nor a Republican, nor independent. I'm actually socialist.
Oh, okay. Now, well, very honest. Okay. Yeah. And are you also a vegetarian? Because a lot of them are.
No, I'm not, but I have no problem being vegetarian. Sure, no worries.
Okay. But anyway, well, Buddha has asked that. We always advocate vegan, but not everybody can do it. But I also know a vegan Jewish rabbi, you believe it or not, but that's my next show. Anyway, next interview. Now, so far, what result have you gotten from all this email you sent out?
Well, I've approached 2 agencies so far. I've approached, let's see, there's so many agencies on my list, but the one that I first approached was the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, and basically what they do is that they contact the bank on my behalf and ask the bank to respond back to me. They don't solve any problems. They just make sure that the bank is communicating with me. And I did bring some letters with me, response letters. So,
you mean from an email they replied to you?
Well, yeah, various emails. Just I made notes about what they've told me to do and so forth, and I could just read you some of the responses.
Yeah, just read it. Yeah, you don't need to show it. Just read it.
All right, like for example, with the FDIC, which is the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, they told me to contact Don Greaser, their claims agent, and file a claim. Another response letter I got was from the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. They told me that a Chase representative has provided a partial response to my complaint. Well, their response is nothing. They've only told me that they're going to do research, and Chase Bank said to me that I should apply for a modification. And that's it, which I've already applied for a dozen times and got turned down. So I did apply for one the other day, and I sent out 44 pages to Chase Bank's modification department for each property. So I sent out 88 pages, but there's still no guarantee, even though I did everything correctly, there's no guarantee that they're going to give me a modification. In fact, I don't believe it. I just don't trust them anymore. But anyway, let me tell you what other responses that I got. From the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, they referred me to communicate with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which I already did. Okay. Here's another one from the FDIC. That's their abbreviation. They told me to contact the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, who governs Chase Bank. So that's who I'm going to be contacting probably today and tomorrow, and sending out a couple thousand emails to them, and hopefully it'll get to the right person. You never know. Who else did I get a response from? I got a response at the FDIC from Michael Moran. Said that he's forwarding my email to the FDIC Office of the Ombudsman for a response. Well, it doesn't matter. You can respond all you want. Where's the help? So, that's what we're seeking out. We're seeking out proper help. Let me see. What else? The FDIC, again, contact the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. FDIC, this said he was the wrong person. He's an AV technician, audiovisual, so obviously he couldn't do much for me anyway. What about Chase Bank? Oh, here's a response from Chase Bank.
What did he say?
Chase Bank said, and it's a form letter, we expect to have an answer or a status update for you by December 31st, 2014. Well, here we are. It's January, and so far there has been no help from Chase Bank. It's just a bunch of form letters they send out. Okay, and what else? I also published complaints on a website called ripoffreport.com, and somebody read my complaint, and he just responded telling me his sad story, which is fine, but I got my own sad story.
Okay. Now, well,
and
okay.
things like that. So
since it's so sad and I'm the happy Buddha, let me turn you around. So you did tell me that you also try to file new loan modification application?
I did, yeah, I did. As I was telling you before, yeah. The process is amazing because not everybody knows what you need for a loan modification to apply. And it took me almost 2 days of doing paperwork. But I have it right here if people would like to take a look. This is a mortgage assistance checklist.
Okay. Got it, yeah.
Okay. And it's 2 pages long.
Right. Okay.
And I'm just going to tell you briefly what you need to apply for modification. Okay. You need to fill out their mortgage assistance form. Their form 4506T-EZ. And if you have other income such as Social Security, bank statements, personal checking, savings accounts, they want to see the last 2 months in full of all the pages. They want to see proof of that. If you have rental properties, they want to see your leases that you gave them or your rental agreements, and you have to fill out a hardship letter as well. So it's quite tedious actually. And just to show you, this is 44 pages of documentation that I submitted. I went to a Chase Bank and they faxed it all to them for both properties, and they were received. But again, it doesn't mean I'm going to get modified. They're probably going to come up with excuses. And I promise you, whatever responses or excuses that I get from them regarding the modification, it will be publicized on a future episode of my fraudulent mortgages, along with other responses that I'm getting from other government agencies, because I have a whole bunch that I have to report the bank to for fraud. Such as, for example, we have here Financial Fraud Enforcement Task Force, we've got HUD, we've got the FBI, etc., etc., etc. They're going to get reported to all the agencies, and maybe there's justice. Maybe justice can be served. Okay. We'll find out.
Great. That is at least more positive than when you were real sad, okay, a while ago. Now,
I'm still sad, but you know what? I'm taking action, because if you don't take action, nothing is going to happen.
Right.
Obviously.
And I understand your sign is Aquarius, and
I'm Aquarius.
Takes action. Yeah, that is one of their attributes that is admirable. Now, this is your age, by the way, the age Aquarius. In fact, my soul's all open with the age Aquarius theme song from the 60s. Now, here's the thing. The other question I would like to ask you is, besides helping yourself, perhaps get together with other people that might help you, or other attorney who might have a better record with this kind of thing, what else do you want to accomplish with this broadcast? Do you want to help other people?
I do. Yeah, because this broadcast is not only about me. Many people out there have experienced the same situation, and many people have lost their homes, or some people are barely holding on to their homes and don't know what to do. And I'm giving you ideas on what you can do. Yes, you can apply for a modification. If that's not working, then you need to report your bank for, for fraud or whatever the problem is to the right government agencies or all of them, and seek out justice. If justice can be served, you may have to go to court and file a lawsuit. You have many options out there. I've even gone as far as reporting them on various websites like ripoffreports.com, Yelp, consumeraffairs.com, pissedoffconsumer.com. There are many websites that you could post your complaints on, public complaints, and people do read this stuff. And the more people that that who knows about this, I mean, the better. You can go to the news department like MSNBC News, CNN, the newspapers, radio. There's so many different options that are out there for you to seek out help and to let people know what's going on, and maybe you can get the proper help that you need. I don't know what kind of help I'm going to get. I don't even know if I am going to get help. But I do know that everything is going live and I'm not hiding anymore. I am blowing the whistle on Chase Bank, or you can call it outing them. Whatever it is, I'm letting people know what's going on from A to Z, from beginning to end. And we're just at the beginning trying to solve this problem, and hopefully we can. I'll let you know if I solve it and if I don't solve it. We're reporting progress, but progress could be positive progress or it could be negative progress. But progress is progress.
Okay, that's great. I'd like to end on that. But before we go, I would like you to pose a way to communicate with you, so that
sure.
So that tell people what your email is and what the PO box you want them to write to you.
Okay, well,
cooperate with you.
I've got Facebook. Facebook is under Howard Paul Shore, so it's HOWARD space PAUL space SHORE. Or you can email me at howardpaulshore@gmail.com. HOWARDPAULSHORE@gmail.com. And please give me a couple days to get back to you in case I don't. I get a lot of emails. I get a lot of requests on Facebook, but I am very good at responding. And if you have a story that you want to share with me, that's great. If you have any advice for me, that's great.
Yeah, the Laughing Buddha will help you put it on here along with Paul's stuff, so you guys would have a sort of like a common cause, and also it's all about numbers. The more people complaining about the same thing in a democracy, that works, And
you made a point. Yeah, he's right. You need to make a lot of noise. The more noise that you make and the more people that you approach, the greater your chances of getting something done. If you only approach a couple people, probably nothing's going to happen. But if you approach a couple thousand people, then yeah, you're gonna hit somebody that can do something. You got to have an open mind, and you can't be living in a little bubble. You have to open up that bubble and let people know of what is going on. You can't hide anymore.
Do you want to give your cell phone number for texting? Some people who have a more urgent.
No, don't text me. I get too many calls.
Okay. I just wanted to.
I mean, if you want to leave me your number, sure, I'll contact you back.
Okay.
But no, Facebook is great. Email is great.
Yeah.
I'm based in Los Angeles, so if you're out in Southern California and you want to meet me for coffee at Starbucks or something and talk, hey, no worries. If you want to interview me, hey, let's do it.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm open.
Sounds good. Great. Now, I think that will conclude our part 2 of your ongoing legal financial adventure of Mr. Howard Paul Shore.
That's my name.
That will be our show. Now, this is part of my show called I'm John Wu, the Laughing Buddha 777. Some of you have seen some of my other show on YouTube on religion and mythology and other things, politics. But I'm doing a new series called The Extraordinary Lives of Ordinary People. And this is probably one of the first one that I'll be doing with Mr. Shore. And he happened to be an Aquarius, just like the theme song of my shows. So nothing is coincident, as my holy brother Confucius say. Everything is meant to be, Okay, so we'll talk to you tomorrow when you have more. Well, actually tomorrow. I mean, that's a big thing. Another day.
I have more emails to send out. I got thousands more, so I have to get those letters together and get them out and get those responses and let you know what kind of responses I've gotten.
Okay.
Hopefully some exciting news, right?
Hopefully, yeah. I'll be helping you as much as possible, as well all the holy people like my holy bro JC Yeshua, or even the other holy brother or the Kuan Yin, my holy sister. All of the Buddhas will be helping you. Okay.
Yeah, we all say prayers. No myo renge kyo.
Oh,
no
okay.
Renge
You
kyo.
do that too. Okay. Are you really into that, or just you know that?
I know about it. I know
Yeah,
about it.
I kind of know them too, but you know they're like the Jehovah's Witness of the Buddhism.
I have it on my bulletin board actually. You know, I have it here. Let me show you. Look.
Yeah, but remember, we're not promoting anybody.
No, we're not. No, I just have this card.
Is whatever, you know. This Buddha is very neutral. So I'm more like a unity minister. So we appreciate all religion, and we will talk about your religion if you want to be on here. Okay.
Okay.
So anyway, and I may be interviewing Mr. Saul next for his other belief, his New Age belief, right? And,
Sure.
and tell him a little background here. What your cultural and religious background, if you have any.
Well, I'm Jewish, okay, and I'm Reformed. However, I like to go to Chabad, I like Orthodox synagogues because they seem to do more things. But, you know, whenever I go there, they always want me to be more religious. And, you know, I tell people, do the best that you can be, you know, just do what you can do. You know, it's impossible to do everything, you know. I mean, I'm supposed to keep the Sabbath. I'm not supposed to drive on Shabbat.
Right.
Well, I don't have a car anymore. I mean, well, my car doesn't really work, so I say I don't have one. So I don't really drive, but I do take the bus.
Okay. Well, you're helping the environment to stay green in that sense, right? Because they all buses under natural gas propulsion right now. I think that's much better. Well, anything you do, some negative thing you think is negative could be positive. You know.
Well, I try to follow the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I don't steal, I don't commit murder, I don't rape, I don't commit adultery. So can I be that bad?
No, you're typical good Jewish boy. Okay?
I don't have a criminal record, okay? I'm a good kid.
Okay, great. Now we probably ended on a high note, and that's about it.